Hey guys, how's it going today? You know, I seem to never have enough time to do all the things I need to do, let alone the things I want to do. But today, well, today's just another day. I actually had the day off from work, and I need to mow my lawn. This isn't even the worst part of it. So, before it gets too warm, I already got up this morning. I went for a run. Really enjoy my my morning run time. But now I'm going to go ahead and mow the lawn, and then we'll see what else we can do. I've got other things I want to do today, more fun, but we'll see how far we can get with what we have going on. So you can watch or not. It's just kind of what I'm doing today. Lawn/weeds mowed. It's time to go on to something else. Yeah, so the wife asked me to get her hoses apart. She wasn't able to. We'll see. I've had, I think probably the same luck as everybody else with trying to get hoses separated. About 50-50. Once you got to get the pliers out, you just never know. You don't want to clamp it down too tight. It's that delicate balance. Oh yeah. Success. This is probably part of the problem. That lets you get a nice, tight, secure grip on this end, which doesn't have the same feature. That's all right. That's a win. All right, next item on my little list for today, this little thing, is I wanted to get the timing better on my 2504. Pulled out my timing light, and it's worthless. Well, you can't see nothing. Look at that. You can't get a light in there on either side. I don't even know where the timing marks are. I think they align over here on the on this side. But look at this. I just can't get in there with the light to see, so I just kind of tuned it by ear a little bit, and I got it better. My idle is more stable. You can hear it. I can hear it. And I got another 200 RPM. I was maxing out at about 1900 RPM. Weird. I had it to 2100 RPM, and now it's not. That's weird. Lots of smoke. Smoky. Winning. I think I do have a dead cylinder or a weak cylinder, maybe even a couple weak cylinders on this engine. Doesn't seem to be just quite hitting with full power on all of them, so that's all right. Let's keep moving forward. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. It's operational. It's working. So let's move on. So in the same vein of things that I'm working on today, I noticed my Dodge had a dead battery. I've had this truck for years and years, and it's such a cool truck, this old first gen Cummins. But it's got its quirks, and one of them is I think the ignition switch is maybe going bad, and it might stick on every once in a while, and it runs down the battery. And it's not a repeatable situation, right? It'll go for months and months without running, no problem. And then nothing, it's just dead one day. So we'll throw the battery charger on it, get this battery juice back up. Yep. Just dead as a doornail. Get this truck ready for when I need it next. Kind of a gross mess in there. I don't know if it does any good, but I like to coat my battery, especially my positive battery terminals, well, both and my negative. I coat those with some grease, right? Just something to keep the oxygen out of there. So let's just go 2 amp, couple of hours. Well, let's see. We'll start with that. Yeah, we'll charge it for a couple of hours at 2 amps. So we'll go from there. All right, on to the next thing. Yeah, there we go. See, now we got some juice. Close the hood enough to turn off the light, so that if I forget about it, it doesn't just run that battery back down to nothing in the meantime. So, all right, on to the next thing. All right, so the next thing is where I turn myself into mosquito bait. It's irrigation season, right? So I've got water here on my little field here. Got some nice clover coming up in here, and hopefully I can get this on the camera. But I also grow a fantastic crop of mosquitoes out here. Anytime you flood irrigate, boy, it just creates a perfect condition for mosquitoes. So, especially when you have neighbors all flood irrigating on different cycles, so there's always a little swamp for the mosquitoes to breed. If you just drive, you can see the hills right there. You get right up, about halfway up those hills. Those hills are only, what, 100, 150, 200 feet, I don't know, they're tiny little hills. Halfway up those hills, there's not a mosquito to be found. But you come right down here in this bottom, and it's a mess. But hey, that's just the way it is. So I cut this, let's see, what is today? I cut this just 3-4 weeks ago, and it's coming back nicely. All right, it's a lot of clover, a lot of grass, not as much alfalfa as I wanted. And we have some problem spots out here. Spots where I just can't seem to get the water down. I'm working on it though, a little bit at a time. This is actually moist right there, which is better than it ever has been. You can see some water down there in what used to be a dry spot, so that's a bonus. In fact, it's like I'm kind of walking around on one little dry spot here that's a lot smaller than it used to be. So that's a win, right? Making progress. I actually took that 2504 out here with the box blade and kind of, well, you'll see up here, I kind of knocked down some high spots and drug some dirt around. Yeah, a little bit of alfalfa here. Soil's just not good for alfalfa. Now I'm working on it. So yeah, you can see this muddy spot right here. I scraped it pretty good. This was a high spot right in here that I couldn't get water past. And I scraped it pretty good with that box blade. And I dropped a lot of it down there in that low spot, because that low spot keeps getting back flooded by this irrigation ditch that comes through. So I was trying to get this spot wet, and I didn't succeed, right? I got another dry spot, and it's significant. You can see I didn't do nearly as much box blade work over here. Yeah, a little damp there. It's actually dry. So, but here's the deal. This water's already been on for a couple of days. I got to turn it off. So right here's where I'm wet again. So I've got a little section in here. Just a little section that needs a little bit more work. That section right there is way too low. Just a absolute pond. So I'll drag some of this dirt right through here into that little low spot, and I'll drag most of it though down towards the end of the field where I'm getting back flooded out of the ditch. So, you know, it's just a little bit at a time, working on this field. But yeah, quick little walk around. Probably 80% of this field is wet. That's going to have to be good enough. Let's go ahead and pull the dam. Yeah, see this here, this is what I want to avoid, where you have a pond that everything dies in to try to get everything wet. But try and wash some of this nasty bird detritus. My neighbor, she's got ducks. That's fine. Ducks are fine. Just not my bag, right? So you can smell them too. That's all right. There we go. Water's flowing through the bypass. And let's go ahead and throw this dam in here, because otherwise this field will never dry up. So. Just a little, I call it a 3-acre field. I've never actually measured it, but just a little 3-acre field. And so far this year I've already harvested 9 ton or so of some of my best quality hay to date. So I would have had more, but I had, because of the early spring rains, I spoiled, or some of it got too wet and got ruined. But I'll get one more cutting off of this field this year, and it'll probably be another 2.5, maybe 3 tons, and I'll be happy with that. Right, get it over 10, 12 tons for out of this field. So 4 ton an acre. That'll be the best this field has ever done. So yeah, a little bit at a time, right? So if it's the best this field has ever done, then that means that I'm making progress. So just a little quick thing. Come out here, get chased around by mosquitoes for a few minutes. We'll let this dry off for 10 days or so before we turn the water back on again. All right, on to something else. So I started off today by mowing the lawn, and I kind of want to stay in that vein, right? I've got two pastures that are really being overtaken by cheatgrass, by foxtail, whatever you want to call it. It's just not good grass, and I want to start mowing those pastures down and mow them on a regular basis to try to get ahead of this cheatgrass. It's already kind of too late this year, but I'm going to get started. I could do it with my wrench, right, my drum mower, and that would work fine, but then it would put it in windrows. I'm thinking about using my Ford 501, my sickle bar mower. I did a bunch of work on it last year and got it running, and then I broke the there we go, broke the pitman arm. And I'm always breaking those stupid pitman arms because they get dried out. They just get dried out and break. So if I'm going to do that, I'm going to build a new pitman arm, and I'll build this one out of steel just because. So yeah, let's try that. So let's go ahead and hook onto that sickle bar mower, pull it into the shade here in the barn, and try to get it ready to go. I think it'll fit underneath that door. Yeah, it'll totally fit. Let's do that. Pretty good cut. This is just dry, nasty cheatgrass. I'm just knocking it down, and we'll let it kind of compost here and kick the horses off. But yeah, sickle bar is mowing. Definitely not a perfect job. That's all right. I'm just going to drive around and kind of try to knock down all this cheatgrass. So stick around or not. Thanks for watching.